Future's coming.
You saw him with
they would by definition.
Maul said he has some news for us on the J-Elec album announcement.
Yeah, I'm hearing that it's well, he said featuring Jay, but there's more to that. There's actually they have like a lot of records together on the album, so it's looking like it might be like a not a Watch the Throne type of thing.
I called it,
but kind of sort of on that in that vein.
I will be the first one to come in here and kill Jay Electronica if that happens. By the way,
why?
I'm not doing this with y'all.
Okay.
I would like to hear a project.
Me too.
More than I would like to hear a Kanye and Jay project.
I'm on the fence.
I'm going to purchase that project, and I think it will sound amazing.
Yeah.
And if that happens, I will be the first person to come in here and kill Jay Electronica.
Here's where I understand Joe.
A partnership album.
Yeah, that's where I understand Joe. Like we've been waiting for this.
What I'm saying. I don't think it's
don't
the full
piggyback
project.
off the greatest rapper of all time,
Right.
and that's your debut.
Yeah, I don't think it's a
even
full
if it's
project,
amazing.
but-
Like,
And that's where I'll differentiate from Rory, because I will not make Jay Elect culpable if that happens. I don't know that is not a Rock Nation idea, a Hove idea, because there's bigger business at play. I don't know. But strictly from an artistry standpoint, I am going to kill Jay Electronica if he produces an album with more than 4 Jay-Z features.
Nah. Because he don't want to rap anyway, clearly.
Then go away.
Nah, if you're going to do an album with Hov, I want to listen to it. You're retired from rap. If you had the opportunity to do an album with Jay, you would probably do an
I'm
album with
corny
Jay.
on the fence here
Well,
because
that's my-
I would love to hear Jay Elec and Hove.
But he's saying because
Well, that
this
is exactly
we haven't
my
had
beef.
we haven't had a Jay
That is my
Elect
beef. The rest of us, and I spoke to this last podcast or whenever that was, so I don't really feel the need to expound, but I'll do it. The rest of us have been left out here to be judged by what we think a body of work sounds like. We're judged by the resources we have in going about completing a body of work.
I feel you.
We're judged by everything. So for Jay Elect to come out and rap one song and be pitted with the elite and then never rap again and then come out with an album 10, 11 years later with Hove? What are you saying to me?
I don't blame him.
What are you asking
I'm saying
me?
I don't blame him.
You're asking me why I feel the way that I feel?
just said it. You just said
Why I
it.
would kill that?
You just said it.
No, I get it. I understand. I definitely understand. But if it's only like if it's a
And I told y'all
song,
whenever that was, that Hove really, 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 really loves Jay Elect. This is the only
that's
reason
his,
I have to give this some credence.
That's his
his
favorite
man's. If there was somebody that he were going to do this for, Jay Elect is on that list.
But he even tweeted,
And it
my
just
debut album featuring Hove, man. This is highway robbery. So
it skews the grading system, which has already been skewed. We've never got a clear version of how to grade anything.
True.
Yeah.
And this would skew that system for somebody who we've been looking to fairly assess for a while. Joe's opinion only.
Yeah.
No, I'm just.
And yes, I would purchase it. Yes, I would enjoy it. I would love to hear it. I think them two would cook.
Yeah.
I still would
Yeah.
love to hear Watch the Throne Part 2 with Ye and Hove.
I don't want to hear that.
Even if they decided to carry on that theme with Hove and other people, I just wish it would be announced and not, hey, Jay Elect is coming now. Jay Elect is coming with Hove.
But
if it's
I would have
18
hated it more if they would have said Watch the Throne 2 with Jay Elect instead. Like I would have hated that more.
But if it's like 18, 19 tracks and it's
that
only
would've
4
been
tracks
beautiful.
together, like that's not bad.
That would have been so concise. That would have been so clear. That would have been, we're taking this idea that you already knew and doing it with not Kanye. You already know why that shit exists the way it exists, and we're going to do it with somebody else.
Now we're immediately putting it in the lineage of Watch the Throne, and I don't want them to make an album that's within that lineage. Like I want it to be its own thing.
Jay Electronica and Jay-Z are incapable of making a song that ain't going to fall in that Watch the Throne lineage. That's my opinion.
Nah.
What song they about to make that
said
don't fall
when
in
you
that?
have different resources
fall in
with
that, yeah.
production,
Kanye don't
and
rap like Jay Elect.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
doesn't.
he's saying. He's saying that whatever they will produce will be of the same caliber of Kanye. And
They ain't
Hov.
about to go make a clubbing album.
Oh, I thought you. Okay, I misunderstood. what you
They
were
ain't about
saying.
to go fucking delve into some topics that we haven't heard from Ye and Hov, is what I'm saying.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
Like,
I'm not gonna say that.
That's their bag. That's their bag.
Yeah, but
Both of them.
A lot of those
Jay
records played in the club, but
Yeah, but Jay Elec is a different thinker. Like he's paying attention and inspired by shit that I don't think Kanye is necessarily paying attention to.
I don't know. I don't think it's actually that far
and
off.
Watch the Throne. Of course, it had a lot of content. It was lyrically based because it's Kanye and Jay-Z. But a lot of that was production, the way they kept switching. There'd be 6 beats in one fucking song. Like, it was definitely a production album that we focused on the production a lot on that album.
I don't agree, but that's okay.
I mean, the difference is probably
The production was one of the focal points, but that
For
wasn't
sure.
what all I was focused on.
No, I mean, it's Hov and Kanye, but
Yeah,
I think that was a big thing where I think I could even say that would be 1A and 1B. This one is going to be the lyrical content. I think the production is going to be amazing if we're judging by who Jay Elec fucks with and who Hov fucks with. But I don't think it's going to be in the same ilk as Watch the Throne is
Jay
production
Elec
wise.
is like one of the
It might
only
be.
rappers that you can name where it's like, if you
It's a different
fail,
feeling.
it doesn't matter.
No, he just
No,
understands that now with everything, everybody putting out so much music, and he just understands I'm not gonna put out anything, and that makes him such a sought
bullshit.
after artist.
That's bullshit.
It's not though, because
Everything
it's
about
like
what you just said
everybody-
is bullshit.
No, it's not because like the artist, like, music is art, right?
Right.
I don't think that Basquiat was just painting just to say that he made something. You had to be inspired or he had to be moved by something. or it
At
was a
some
moment.
point, if you're an artist, what your understanding of things has to meet with what things are. That's what I'm saying. And what you're saying is, yo, Jay Elec just had this understanding that if you just release,
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Jay
that
Elec has been
he
afforded.
he is sought after because he hasn't put out any music.
No, he's sought after because he has been afforded the luxury to not release music.
I'm okay with that.
So we're
though.
saying the same
yeah,
thing.
that's not a knock against him.
I'm okay with. I knock it. I
No,
knock
hell
it
no,
because
you
you're
can't
in
knock
that. You're now in the 1% of the way that artists release music.
Everyone's past different though. As long as the
You
music,
are in the
I agree.
1%. I'm very
that's a
clear
knock
in
on
what
him?
I'm.
That's kind of my point of the Watch the Throne part.
That's my knock when I'm talking about how to fairly assess Jay Elec. You are in the 1% of the ability to release music the way that you release it. You are the only person married to an heiress of a fucking island somewhere, whatever the fuck is going on with him. He has never just had to continuously produce. Maybe when life didn't provide all the fruits for him to produce at the best means. No. And we just have been able to hold him to where we hold him because of Exhibit C. Now, these are not knocks against him, but they're asterisks for me.
Okay.
They are. Because how we view Jay Elec and how we view Lupe ain't the same. Know why? Different battles. They ain't had to fight against the same shit. They ain't had the same luxuries of things.
Somebody had to produce
Both
a
elite
superstar.
rhymers.
right.
Both could probably cook up something from nothing, but one had to.
I feel you.
And you've had to judge him each step of the way while he attempted to, even with the failures.
And judge
Jay
him by-
Elec has not been afforded that.
100 songs rather to 5 or 6.
Yeah,
No, I agree with you there.
Yeah,
Joe.
does have
that's
more than
all I'm
5 or
saying.
6 songs.
That's all I'm saying.
And I'll be quick with this. That was kind of my point with the Watch the Throne thing, because I can't compare these when you're dealing with 2 mega superstars where production has to be a certain way. Of course, it's Hov, but we know Hov is in a place where he just wants to make music he wants to make. So they're not chasing anything here or have to have this standard they have to meet because Jay Elec has that thing there. Like, he's Jay Elec. It's cool now. Hov is Hov. And it's crazy that these are even on the same level. As dope as I think Jay Elec is, I think you skipped a lot of steps that you could do an album with Jay-Z.
No doubt. And I understand why
Like,
you put
I think just
asterisks
because
there.
you did Exhibit C, cool.
I do think that great art comes out of places.
So it's not fair for that to be in a Watch the
where you-
Throne category.
I do think great art comes out of situations where you're doing it because you're inspired to do it as opposed to doing it because you have to, though. So I agree with your asterisk as someone who has been broke in the music business for many, many years. I completely understand. However, I do think that sometimes this ends up being great. We'll see.
Yeah, no, that
obviously.
luxury. I wish every artist had that luxury.
Me too.
We all wish that, but they don't, and that's why we afford a lot of credit to artists that are under pressure and deliver and have longevity.
Sure.
That's why like we can't compare rap to sports so much and not talk about the pressure players.
Right.
Like it's unfair.
Yeah.
You can't do that. These people have delivered year after year after year and have bodies and bodies of work and now get the same respect that Jay Elect gets. So I get Joe's point.
Me too. Me too.
It's not fair, but is Jay Elect a different is he in that alien category that we talk about? Yeah, but I can't put him without a body of work that's his. At least one. I need one.
We'll see.
Well, it's happening. It's coming.
And I do also appreciate artists that can, people that have had a very long career, for example, that still deliver quality content.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that don't. There's a lot of people that are still active in music because they're bored.
And they shouldn't
And
be.
they put out music that sucks.
I have this debate.
So-
If we go off everyone's first album, you know how many legends we would have in that top 5 category that we would never even put in the top 50?
Yeah.
Like, fam, longevity and pressure is something that I attribute a lot to.
I don't argue that. I don't think we would have that many.
Shit.
I don't think we'd be that different.
We would. We
I
would have a
don't.
lot.
We
would have a lot.
I'm not arguing it here. I'm just saying the people that made great, like the great first albums, where did they go?
But
A lot of them had
but
at
at the
least
same time,
a second or third
a
album
lot
that
of their
was
first
also
albums
great.
Because they
don't
were
get,
so great. But
Yeah.
if we don't even get to the second or third, and we only look at all of the artists who have bodied the first album, I don't think there's like 60% who bodied the first album and then faltered off. I don't believe that.
I think a lot of
if you bodied that first album the way that we talking about, you went on.
Yeah.
I
agree.
do think a lot of first albums aren't viewed the way they were when they first came out because of the second, third, and the trickle off or the jokes or the you had to put yourself out there. We got to know you. Like, I think a lot of first albums are better than we remember they were. And they would have been remembered better had you just disappeared. Like, you were gone. Everyone would be like, fuck, I really like that album. What happened? A lot of those. I just don't think... I think time ruins people's legacy sometimes. And it ruins even their first album and us remembering how important or how we felt when we heard that first album.
I agree with that sentiment, but I can't think of too many examples where someone had a very great classic album and then just nothing but trash afterwards. That's pretty rare.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's rare.
Yeah, me neither. Like, I really loved Criss Cross's first album. That second album was ass.
Nah,
I stand by that.
We can't bring up Criss Cross in this
Well,
conversation.
no,
They had a great
great-
first
they had a
album.
great-
They had a great first album.
You can't go from Jay Electronica to Criss Cross, man.
Sure.
You're right, because Jay Elect shouldn't be in any Criss Cross conversation.
Well, he doesn't have an album out yet. So I
He
agree.
has not been called upon to deliver in the same facet that Criss Cross has. And that is my entire point with Jay Electronica.
Yeah, but there's people
Criss
that-
Cross came out, stood on their own weird shit, sold whatever they sold, and then were called upon shortly after to deliver something in the same remnants.
Yeah, but
Jay Elect has been afforded a
Yeah, but
decade
Joe,
to
it's-
fucking relax.
But Joe, it's-
and
it's-
because
it's-
y'all are
it's
whole
things-
niggas, y'all are just gonna say,
Nah,
that's normal. It's not
about being-
normal.
it's not about
It's
being
not
whole
normal. I'm
niggas.
sorry. It's not normal.
That's not
That
about
is
being
not
whole
normal.
niggas, but I'm just
You
saying
can't name me
everything you said.
another nigga that's afforded that. So when you say we can't talk about Criss Cross and Jay, you're right. We can't. One of them delivered.
No. When I say that, it's you. But you being very surface though. Like we don't. Did Criss Cross write their music? Were they rapping at the same caliber? No. Like so, you can't compare it. You can't bring Criss Cross is what I'm saying. You can find another artist, but Criss Cross, I don't think they were
All right,
writing.
well, let me,
their
that was
own-
just a-
well, let me think of some more. I mean,
I don't
that's
think
just
they
the
were
first
writing their
person.
own
No.
music.
I'll
That's
even
just the first person that came to mind. Fucking DLC Formula.
I was gonna say, let me put some of our greats.
That
there. Let me not
album
even say
was
bad.
amazing to me, and I at the time was young. I didn't know nothing about what he had going on after that, and I didn't hear nothing else after that to match that for me. But nobody except for the West Coast people is bringing up DLC in the same facet as Jay Electronica. That's kind of that's my point to you. Anybody I think of, there's a bunch of them out there. MC Hammer's first album, not first album, but
Second-
Please Haven't
second
Heard Him.
album, yeah.
Whatever album that was, or To Pray For Me. He had 2 albums, but we don't hold them in that light is all I'm saying. We could think of a bunch of them who had great first albums.
So yeah, I'll even say fuck the average rappers.
Who
The
backs
people that,
you,
the
man?
people that have the classics.
Goes
if
to
they
that.
if they was gone after they first one and didn't continue to put out 14 albums, they would be looked at as the greatest rapper of all time. I promise you that. I bring up that point all the time, and I would never want this, but if DMX died after those first 2 albums, he would be number 1 on every single person's list.
Yeah,
But he should.
I didn't like the second album as much as the first one.
But he's not number 1 on everyone's list now because his career continued, and we had to see him continue to produce. So I don't think it's fair when you just put one thing out and you just there.
I think that's a bad example. He continued to produce.
He did. No, I'm talking about that
So it's
number
not
one.
like he had
number
the
one shit.
fall off after
Talking about the
after
number
Third and
2.
fourth album were better
talking
than the
about
second
the
album. That's-
talking about the number 1 slot. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of artists had they passed away or just disappeared. Not even that. Fuck that. Just stopped. These are my 2 bodies of work. This is my first body of work. Yeah, you in that. And
To
I think-
that, I say, like,
and
who?
si- if Nas puts out Illmatic and it was written and stops making music, he's even
Nori,
higher on the
I'm
list.
saying Nori. Rory, give me somebody outside of the people that we all know have legendary 2 album outputs.
Mike
Like,
Geronimo. Great first album.
Agreed.
Never really put out
Really
much
good first album.
afterward.
Mike Geronimo was also looked at as like Nas.
No doubt.
Well, no, not to
All right.
after
I
a
get
year.
what Joe was saying.
All right.
I understand
All right.
what Joe
All
was
right.
saying.